Welcome friends, welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and today onwards we're going to have some topics on project management. It is going to be a series of 4 or 5 topics which will come one by one. I hope to the project managers and to the people who want to become project managers and want to come into this very great stream of project management can benefit a lot from this. I hope it will add value to them and it will help them to grow in a smaller way. So with this mission, I am starting this series of such videos which will definitely help you. And so before I move ahead, I request all of you to please subscribe my channel and spread it across your groups, your friends. If you like the video, please like it and give a comments which will help me to improve further. So with this, we are starting today, and the first topic we are going to cover is risk management. Very important topic, and we are going to cover it in very short and crisp manner. I hope it will add value to you. So let us start this. What is risk? And that is very important because risk is always conceived as or perceived as only a negative event. It is not the negative, it has the positive side also. So let us look at what is the definition. As per ISO 31000, risk is the effect of uncertainty on objectives, and it is effective is positive or negative deviation from what is expected. So please look at the definition very clearly. It has both positive side and negative sides, and from the objective you can go to the positive side or it will have a negative impact also on your objectives. In pmbok, it is said that's an uncertain event or condition that if occurs has a positive or a negative effect or one or more project objectives. So if you are doing a project, now this is very specific to project. If the risk happens, then or that event happens, then it will have either positive impact on your project objectives or probably on the entire project, or it will have negative impact on your project objectives, one or more objectives, or it might have the impact on your entire objective. So this is in nutshell the definition which is in front of you. I have just explained you. This is very important, basic thing before we move forward. So in short word, the risk definition is basically an uncertainty. Will it happen? So the likelihood of happening and uncertainty, which can have both positive as well as negative impact. So it will have effect on objectives and there will be consequences. So if it happens, then it will have consequences, effect or impact or whatever you can say on objectives. So in nutshell, this particular slide should be there in mind when the risk definition comes in, right? So uncertain future event or condition which it happens affects the mission objectives, affects the project objectives. It could have, as I said, both sides. Any coin has both sides. Similarly, risk has both sides, negative as well as positive. To further clarify, risk is associated future event which is yet to happen, which is not yet happened. So very clearly, risk is always associated with the future event which is yet to happen, which is not happened so far. But whatever has happened, we call it as an issue. If risk has happened, it's already occurred, then it is considered an issue. Obviously, when it happens, it will create issues, right? So this is related to risk definition. Now let us look at what is project risk management. Project risk management is the process of identifying, then evaluating, planning a proper response to an event which will have both positive and negative sides, right? That might occur throughout the course of the project. So while doing a project, there could be a risk happening, and how do we identify the risk in advance? How do we evaluate their impact and then prepare a response plan so that when it happens, we execute that plan. And that is in a nutshell the risk management or project risk management. It is always important to understand that risk management should increase the probability or an impact of a positive event, and it should reduce or decrease the probability or impact of negative event on the project objectives or project success entire project itself. So this is project risk management, friends, right? Hope it is adding value. Let's move forward now. What it does, if you do a proper risk management, it actually helps to reduce your firefighting. The crisis which we generally go through on the projects, it will help to reduce those crises. So this crisis management will come down. It will have fewer surprises, right? Because your plan, you know what is going to happen. It is not coming as a surprise. Like the one which we are going through right now, COVID, it came as a surprise. You can anticipate the problems because we are planning from the day one. We are starting with identification. We are planning a response, so we are ready and we are anticipating what can happen, and then we are proactively getting ready. Increase, because if you handle the risk, your likelihood of project success is very high. The likelihood of project success is very high because you are able to handle the risk properly, right? What can impact a project or project success or project objective is only risk. And if you handle this, obviously the project success is going to go up. And if you handle the risk properly on your projects, your organization's competitive advantage goes up. And as a project manager, you become a better project manager. You become an effective project manager. Project managers, one of the main responsibility is to how do he manages the risk on the project. Now, what is the objective of risk management? As I said, increase the likelihood and impact of a positive event and reduce or decrease the impact and probability of negative events. In nutshell, this should be our objective of having risk management on projects. If you don't have this, there's no point of having risk management. So what is the risk management process? As I said, first we need to identify the risk. Then we have to assess those risks. We have to evaluate this risk, or then we have to prioritize. We have to rank those risks. We know by doing a proper evaluation whether this risk is very high, the next high, like that we have to prioritize. Because you can't have, doing only risk management on a project. That is one way of looking at it. If you are doing only risk management, the project is not going to happen. So we have to prioritize, and then we have to add resources to handle this. And as I said, probability and impact of unfortunate events we should be able to decrease, minimize, monitor it properly so that it doesn't affect or impact on your project objectives, and control it. If it happens also, we have to control it, because there could be something which will go past, but we are ready, we are controlling it. And we have to realize the opportunities of positive events, maximize it, and manage your risk. So in nutshell, this is the process of risk management. What are the potential benefits of risk management? We have seen some of them, but it helps you to better decision making because you have fewer surprises. You use your resources effectively, and customer or stakeholders are satisfied or engaged, so that because they don't have to worry about this because risk management is in place. So the first process, as I said, is identification. How do we identify the right risk at the beginning? It's very important. And risk identification is not a one-time process. It is an iterative process. It is a dynamic process. It has to start from the beginning of the project, and it has to continue through the project phases, through the course of the project till the closing. So it's not a static document, or it's not a static process. So we have to use our experiences, get people together and identify the risk. Some people must have done some similar project earlier. They would be giving their experience, right? How they have handled that risk. We can identify, use the experiences, identify. And there is one important document comes out from this is risk register, which, as I said, is a dynamic document. We have to go on adding risk, because if you identify, then only you will be able to take care of this. You will be able to plan for response. If you don't identify, then there's a problem. The next one, as I said, is evaluating the risk. We have to prioritize the risk, which is the number one, which is the number two, which is the number three. And there are different ways of doing this. One is the qualitative analysis, another is the quantitative analysis, which can give you the ranking of the risk. And this is very important because from there you will be able to know which are the risks which should be on your radar all the time, which you have to put it in the watch list. So this can be done from this. As I said, evaluating of risk will have two types of analysis. One is the qualitative risk analysis, another is quantitative risk analysis. Qualitative risk analysis is done at the beginning because we don't have much details available of the project. and it is easy and quick to perform. So it only has subjectivity in the analysis. The quantitative analysis is done in detailed way. You will have numbers associated to it. It is an analytic way of doing it, and this is generally done when you are into the project and you know more of details, so that you have the data from where you will be able to do a proper analysis. Qualitative, as I said, is generally done at the start of the project. So these are two risk analysis types which we must remember. Then what we should do is planning a response. So based on the analysis which you have done, you have to plan, if this risk happens, what I'm going to do. Whether I'm going to have this response, who is going to be the risk owner? Because as project manager, you can't do everything. So you have to put a plan in place that if the risk happens, this is a risk owner, and this is a response which is being planned. And this is very important to have a plan in place proactively, right? The various types of risk response plans are like this. The one on these are negative risk. Generally, we try to mitigate and reduce the probability or impact of the impact of the risk, right? Second is to transfer. So I have a subcontractor. I will take the order and transfer this to subcontractor. If the risk happens, it will just pass on to the subcontractors. Next is insurance agencies. Take an insurance. If something happens, you will be able to transfer this to insurance agency or insurance company. Next is avoid. If you know it is going to have, then you try to avoid it by taking some other route or completely not taking the decision of going ahead. Second is acceptance and plan a contingency for it, right? On the positive side, always positive, you exploit, you enhance. If there's a big project, huge project, but if you don't have the ability to do it, come together, have a consortium, have a joint venture, and do a project so that you can share both profitability or success of the project. The one next is again, if it happens, if it comes, then accept. So both the accept on the negative and positive sides are just basically doing nothing. If it happens, then you will take the action. So that is not a right way of doing it, but these are some of the strategies which can be used by anyone, right? So these are some of the risk response plans or strategies. Then you have to implement the response. If the risk happens, this is where the execution part comes in. If something happens, the risk owner has to first know the trigger just before the risk is happening. If he is involved in the project, and he must be able to take action quickly, he must be able to take the action very quickly to control the risk, its impact, its probability, right? So, as I said, project is full of risk. Similar to this quote, a ship is safe in harbor, but that is not what ships are made for. Ships are made for to go inside the sea and sail, right? Otherwise, it is very, very safe in the harbor. So projects are full of risk. We have to put a proper risk management plan in place so that we reduce the probability and impact of the risk on the project objectives, and the project will become successful. This was a small video on the risk management. I hope it has helped you. Please follow me on Ajaz Kazi, that is the YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You can also follow me on ajazkazi.com. And one important news which I want to give you at the end of this is a risk management course, a proper course with proper modules, detailed, explained on Udemy. This is the link which is there, which is available. There's a coupon code also which is there. It is very, very reasonably priced. You can go and look at this digital course and get benefited. So please note the link. It is also there in the subscription. You can go and just click the link there and get to the course. Please subscribe and like and give your comments. Thank you very much for your patient listening. I will come up with further videos on project management once again. Thank you.